Good day, followers. Welcome to Daily Prescription. So glad you could join me on our page today. I'm Elizabeth Shand of Faith Center, San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago, West Indies. Today, I'd like to speak to you for a few moments on the subject, how you can use your significant little to be of service to many. Now, notice I use the expression significant little, and this is because most of us think that what we have is so insignificant, it can't possibly help anybody, or it can't possibly accomplish anything, especially if you are a believer. You are thinking, I have so little that what I have could never accomplish anything significant in the kingdom of God. Well, today our text is taken from John chapter 6, verses 5 to 13. And there are parallel accounts in Matthew 14, Mark 6, and Luke 9. And it speaks about the account where Jesus fed the 5,000 miraculously, 5,000 men plus women and children. And he fed them with a little boy's 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes. Now notice, the biggest thing here was 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 the multitude of people, sorry, the 5,000 men plus women and children. And what we would think insignificant here would have been the 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes that this little boy had. So we want to look briefly at this account and see how it worked out. So for some brief reading, John chapter 6, all right, from verse 5, it says, when Jesus lifted up his eyes, he saw this great company come to him. He said to Philip, when shall we buy bread that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. So Philip assessed the situation and he said, well, 200 penny worth of bread is not sufficient for them that everyone may get a little. And then we see Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, saying, there's a lad here which had 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. But what they are they among so many? So also assess the situation. Or this was a little boy. So it had to be that he didn't have much. He had a small meal for himself. And researchers tell us that barley loaves, barley was, poor people food and so on. And the fishes were probably like what we will call briny dry. So he assessed the situation like us. We would have assessed the situation and say, but what are these among so many? But Jesus didn't make any comment. All he said was, make the men sit down. So the men sat down. He took the loaves. He gave thanks for it. He gave it to the disciples to those who were sat down, and the fishes, and they ate as much as they could or they would, and they were filled. Now, I find this very significant. The disciples' answer to that question about feeding them would have been to send them away. Now, it's not something we may have done. We would have assessed the situation. We have said, well, we don't have money to feed all these people. Why not send them away? Send them to a village, send them to someone else who is able to help them. Nevertheless, Jesus took the little, if the little that that Andrew assessed would have been so little. And what did he do with the little? He took that little, he looked up to God, he gave thanks for the little he had, and God was able to use it to bless these 5,000 plus people. So here we see small things, seemingly what we would call insignificant things, things that we would say could not make an impact on any situation mentioned in this passage and have a great impact upon 5,000 plus people. Now, those of you listening to me this morning, regardless of what you have that may seem insignificant to you, or a little bit to you, I want to encourage you. God has placed you upon this earth for a purpose. And there are people around you in the course of your life, your everyday activities and so on, that He is sending your way. And you have something that could be a blessing to them, especially if you are a believer, because God has gifted every believer with at least one gift. And you all are talented. Probably you don't see it. Probably nobody has told you, but you are talented and you have been gifted by God. And this little boy's testimony, I'm sure he would never forget that what he gave to the Lord, this little, he didn't keep it for himself selfishly. This little he gave to the Lord, he, he gave it to the Lord, and the Lord blessed it and multiplied it. And you know, there's a saying, if God could get it through you, He will get it to you, because God wants us to be a channel of blessing to others. So, friend, you are a walking solution to somebody's problem, somebody who is around you right now. Somebody is around you right now, and you are a walking solution to their problem. And you must not think that whatever you have is insignificant. It is significant because God gave it to you and you can use it to help someone. So, my friends, simple message out of this account today: 5,000 fed with 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. Those barley loaves and fishes were placed in the hands of the Lord. He looked up, he gave thanks, and he used it. And as he began to use it, it began to multiply, and it was able to feed these 5,000 plus people. And I am sure this little boy would never forget today, that day in particular. Sorry. So I challenge you today, take your life, look at what gifts, look at what talents you have, and offer it to Jesus. Give yourself to Jesus, and He will use you to be a greater blessing to people than you could imagine. He has a great purpose for your life. Now, one writer, Helen Keller, says this: I am only one, but I am still one. I cannot do everything, but I could still do something. I will not refuse to do the something I can do. And why don't you follow that? Why don't you adopt that principle for your life? You are one, but you are still one. You cannot do everything, but you can still do something. And you should not refuse to do the something you could do. Friend, again, you are a walking solution to someone's problem, and what you have is significant, and God could use it to minister to many, many people. So, friends, if this brief message has been a blessing to you, or if you know someone it could be encouraging to, I ask you to share it. Like, share, and again on this page, we like to ask you, if you would like to contact us, inbox us a message. If you would like us to pray for you, inbox us. If you would like to speak to someone in person, feel free to call our Church Faith Center at 65 Bible. And God bless you and have a great rest of the day. And once again, thank you for joining us on Daily Prescription.